hope you're at least okay. Today is a Monday, so we're just going to be hanging out and chatting. I think my schedule might have to change around because of things I have going on outside of stream, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe Mondays are going to be something different. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So trying out a new perfume today, and it's not necessarily like very fall themed. It's messing me up. It's messing me up, man. I mean, it smells good. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of tripping me out because it's like so. It's like you can almost taste it. Don't judge me, but it's very I don't know. It's like it's good. It's so floral though. I love it. I just cycle out different ones that I test. Oh, which are so good. It's so good and delicious. At least it can be. I'm on the hunt for no piece of jewelry. I'm just I'm vibing today. I was up really late last night. Doing some studying. Miscellaneous studying though. Today I had some homework and stuff. Just gross. Gross. But yeah, let's see. What else do we have going on? Kind of oh no, just before I started streaming, I was looking at the Congress holding a vigil for Charlie Kirk, which is, I don't even know what to say. They normally do not hold any vigils, even for their own members that pass away, so that's a whole thing that I got lots of opinions. I got lots of opinions. Man. Damn. Lots of opinions. Yeah, I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, ugh. I'm bored. Not like with streaming, just like lots of other stuff. Also, hi Chaotic. How are you? How are you? How is life? How's it going? Hopefully good. If not, I don't know what to say. I have 2 tabs open. I have like so many tabs open today. Anything exciting? I've been having such a hard time focusing, and I think it's because I was just like tired. And my brain's just like pew 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 pew. And I don't really have a lot of structure today, and so many things are changing. So I'm just like ah. So that's okay. Chaotic says I'm doing okay. I'm at the end of the semester at uni. Also, I just ate a sandwich because I didn't have lunch and I just got home. Vibes. Yeah. Hopefully it was a good sandwich. When I was struggling a bit more, like not even struggling, but like with time and stuff like that, I would just eat like random things. I would just eat like bread with like jelly on it, or just I put random stuff on it. I made like weird pizzas and stuff like that too. I'll probably make them on stream eventually. They're kind of goofy though. Only if I'm really short on time. And it's like a winter thing. But Chaotic says, how are you? I'm good. Like I said, everywhere today. I was up late. I was studying, oh man, gun control laws and different stuff like that, and diving into lots of details. Anyways, is chocolate pizza weird? Probably. It just depends on what it is. Like, I remember in the town I grew up in, hasn't finished steeping it. I have tea in here. But in the town I grew up in, they had this one restaurant that had tons of weird pizzas in it, and it was a buffet. I think it was called like I don't remember the name. I think it was like Cece's Pizza, something like that. You could probably look it up. But they had like dessert pizzas, which were pretty good. And sometimes they would have chocolate dessert pizzas. Sometimes they would have like cinnamon, sugar kind of dessert pizzas with like a cream cheese frosting on it. I should probably try to make that for stream one day. It'd be really good. But yeah, that's something that we made, or not we, but like we would go out and eat a lot. So I guess it depends. Man. Kelly says, I already ate chocolate pizza. It's okay. It's just too sweet to me. Yeah, that was the problem. Like, my family would yell at me all the time growing up because they'd be like, eat it. Eat the candy. Eat the sweets or whatever. And I'd just be like, no, thank you. I really enjoyed stuff like ramen and that sort of thing. It was pretty good. So I've always been obsessed with it. It's just really great. Sometimes I'll have like candy. Like I want it to be high oh no. High concentrated sugar. And that's kind of what I'll have. But if it's just like really rich, it just I don't know. I feel like it's never really made super well. And I have to be in the mood to have it. Like hormonal. And then I'm like, oh, chocolate's good all of a sudden. But outside of that, I don't really like it. Or I have to be really hungry. And then if I'm super hungry and I have like pastries that are like American pastries, which are always super sweet, I'll only have like half of it before it just starts making me nauseous. Yeah. It's like my body, like it's not that it doesn't taste good for me, because most of the time it does taste good, but my stomach starts like rejecting it. And that's why I can't finish it. Like my body says no. And if I eat like a chocolate pie, if you give me like a slice of chocolate pie, which was like something my stepmom made all the time because it was her favorite stuff. So any special event or whatever, she'd make like this chocolate pie, and it was like Oreo crust, and then she'd have like a chocolate pudding kind of mixture in the center with like layers of whipped cream, like all this crazy stuff. And every time she would like make us eat a slice because she'd be like, the rule was don't waste any food at the table. So if you get a full plate, you have to finish the full plate, which is, they just were like that. You couldn't come back later and eat. So if we had an event or whatever, or people were over, I would have to eat a slice of pizza and it would make me sick. Like I would literally go to the bathroom and throw up because it was too much for me. And I don't know, I just, ever since then, I just haven't really liked chocolate. I can have a little bit. Like I'll have like a Hershey's Kiss or whatever, or like a couple of pieces of like a Hershey's bar. Dark chocolate's better because it's more bitter, but it's like really intense. It took me a long time to even like coffee. Oh no, man. I'm just going on a tangent. This is where my brain is today. I'm just like, boop, 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 boop. Yeah. You're welcome. The more you know. But I don't know. I feel like other people, like, does it make you sick? Like me? Or am I crazy? I don't know. It's just how it is. I'm gonna Google this. Why, uh, why does eating sweet things make me nauseous? Let's see. I don't know. No, you don't get sick easily. I don't really either. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, rapid blood sugar spikes and crashes, digestive overload, and sugar intolerance, and uh, I don't know. Dehydration and electrolyte imbalance. I don't know. It just made me like, I think it was because it had like dairy in it. Because technically I am lactose intolerant, and if I eat a lot of dairy, but I can eat pizza. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just I've always really struggled with like sugary stuff. Sorry. I don't know what to say now. I feel like I went on like a little tangent, like a little too much, but that's okay. I've asked my doctor about it, and they were like, "Well, can you eat like sugary stuff and you're fine?" I'm like, "Yeah," but it's just like after a bit, my stomach's like, no more." Daria says, "Have I been missing you, Comrade Josie, or are you not been on for a while?" No, I've been here. I've been here. You've been missing me. This weekend, though, I may or may not be pretty much gone. But we'll see. We'll see. I have a couple of meetings, and maybe I can get everything done early, but we shall see. But how are you? Do you condemn Wayland your time? Let me Google this. Usually, a fictional mega corporation in the Alien franchise. I don't know anything about Alien. I'm good, thanks. I just finished my first podcast in it. Wait, are you doing podcasting now? Congratulations. I hope it goes well for you. Podcasting kind of scares me. It's like a little intimidating, IMO. So I'm proud of you. I one of my old workplaces, they had like a podcast where it was like we did shows and that sort of thing. So they would interview some of the people that would be on the show, and I don't know if it's still going or if it's like anything, but I got to see behind the scenes of that, and I was like, damn, it scares me. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe one day. Daria says, yes, I make films with my mate, Tyrone, so we made a podcast reviewing films and that. Oh, you should keep going! Be sure to upload it on YouTube. Like, have a visual thing too. Maybe not start off with that if you don't want to, but having that visual stuff really helps people. Chaotic says, I discovered podcast by Joe Rogan. Damn. Yeah. That's pretty relatable. I oh, one of my uncles really liked Joe Rogan. Hi, George. Daria says, yeah, it's on YouTube and we will do all that kind of stuff, but it was just the first trial run tonight. Ooh, congratulations. I hope you do good. Ah. Let me know if you want, you're allowed to like plug it in chat if whenever you feel comfortable with it. If you want to keep testing it out, go for it and like get your wiggles out, but we support you. Don't be shitty though. Not like shitty content, but don't be a shitty person. And you should be all good. Like, basically, don't be a fascist now, I guess. I don't know. Diane says, I don't think people would find it that interesting to beach. Oh my god, get over yourself. Stop projecting. There's a demographic for everything. People like it. And probably not the people you think. Like, sometimes people will go out of their way to make certain content. Like, the podcast that my friends were working on, or my coworkers at the time. We were, like, friends and stuff like that. But now we're just, like, we haven't talked in a while because, you know, life and shit like that. But seeing behind the scenes of their podcast, I learned that, well, not even learned. I got to see that the people actually didn't just watch them for what they were reviewing. they watched them because they liked their personalities and stuff. And they liked the lore behind the people. That's why I don't do like podcasting. It stresses me out. That's why I also don't watch podcasts with lots of people. I listen to more like solo dolo, like educational stuff. Mainly language learning things nowadays, because that's what I gotta do. And Daria says, the first 10 minutes is me explaining the difference between metaphor, allegory, and symbolism. When it's more interesting and snappier, you're more than welcome to look at it. You'll get your wiggles out. You gotta figure out, do people want to come to you for education? What form of entertainment are you bringing to people? Are you educating them? Are you making them feel like they're part of like your friend group, like community-based stuff? Are you like, I don't know, is it just a personal outlet for you and you're just expressing yourself and people just are entertained in that way? Like, what is it for, you know? Or if you're just curious what I sound like, I can link it, no problem. Whenever you are ready. So it doesn't seem like you're super ready yet. So once you're ready for that, I think many of us will support you. I'm so excited! Reminds me, there was another chatter that was here a while ago. I don't remember who it was, but they did a lot of like history-based things, and I hope they're doing good too. I just love it when you guys do stuff. I think you have a lot of potential, Darius. I'm so excited for you. That made my day. Just whenever you are ready. No pressure. No pressure. I just hope you stick with it, even when it's hard. Dari says, when we've made our film, you can watch that. It's about a teddy bear that falls in love. Oh, I love that. Oh, that is so cute. Oh, I love that. I love little love stories. We might, I don't know, I want to have like a more film focused thing on Discord or whatever, because you can't really watch films on, stream without it being, I don't know, I don't want to get a strike. So I'm kind of nervous about it. Some people play like a lot of copyrighted music and everything, and I don't know. Lots of people do movies and stuff, and I like movies a lot, but I'm nervous. But I have the feeling that you'd probably really like to hang out for that. That's future stuff. Me apologies for my horrible British accent. You can Amazon watch parties probably on Twitch if the lads all have Prime. Yeah, I should probably do that. What would you guys want to watch? Like, what type of movies? I have a couple of movies I would really love to watch with you guys. I like horror movies, mainly because, I don't know, they kind of freak me out though. War of the Worlds with Ice Cube, bruh! That'd be so funny. I have like some people do really serious like movie stuff. Like oh man, I just saw I didn't really watch him a lot, but I saw it he like comes up on my feed every once in a while. And I don't know. I like watching movie night stuff on TikTok or Twitch or, YouTube and that sort of thing. Like, technically, YouTube has free movies, but I don't know if I'm allowed to play those here or if I'm not. Otherwise, I would, because I have so many movies that I want to watch with you guys. I just don't like watching movies alone or TV. I'm gonna have to start doing more of that because of language stuff. Gross. I have a list of movies though. Dari says, I know a streamer that has about 40 to 90 viewers and she gets wasted and watches YouTube movies all the time. Oh, really? Okay, so like we could have a movie night. Would you guys be down for that? Wait. Okay, it's YouTube movies though. It's not like Hollywood ones, so it's mainly horror. No, no, no. I'm saying like YouTube has published a lot of like free movies on Twitch. Also, or not on Twitch. Like a lot of movies that are really popular, but they're just free. Also, hi Cold, long time no see. Hmm. Man, I don't know, man. I'm gonna look into it though. Cole says, watched that movie last night. Wished I had it. Might be the worst movie ever, bruh. Hmm. George says, yeah, I'm up for some movies. Oh, that'd be so fun. You're in the Discord now. At least I think you are. So we can plan around that. Daria says, yeah, but I imagine if you watched it, chat. There. Oh, let's see. Daria says, if you like horror films, check out on Leno. They have a shit ton of very high quality YouTube horror films. Dang. Yeah, Ice Cube cannot act. It is true. Ooh, thank you, Darius. Oh, oh my gosh. Wait, this is actually super cool. Oh, this is so cool. Oh my god. Wait, but like, y'all know what I mean though, right? YouTube free movies. Like, YouTube movies has a ton of just free stuff you can watch. Like, you could see Robots, Maze Runner, John Wick, Skyscraper. Like, these are free primetime movies. Like, it's crazy. Like, yo, let me get this. Let me show this out first. Gosh, I have too many tabs open. Okay, okay. Your wait. Okay. The rest of these tabs can just go someplace else. Okay, that makes my life easier. Yeah, I'd avoid those ones, TBH. I'd focus more on ones released or made for YouTube. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. That's my thing, though. Because they're technically, like, all free to watch. You know? Like, you have. Ah! Oh, you guys don't need to see all that. This is random stuff. But you have, like, Robots, Fools Rush In, Scary Movie 3. Like, that would be so fun to watch. Oh my god. Ah, it's the White Savior movie, the help. Oh, fuck. Yeah, Jennifer's Body. Oh my god, I was obsessed with Jennifer's Body. I was like, iconic. Oh my gosh, we could watch Ouija, a Wicca, Wicca, Insidious. I don't really care for the Insidious movies though. I think they're kind of like yeah. I don't know. Family. Oh, The Craft Legacy. Oh, isn't The Craft like different? Anyways, like you can try it, but the risk is pretty high. OMG, show us your recommends. No. Like, I don't know. Wait, hold up. Hold up. I could show you, like, what my front page looks like, but it's, like, not exciting. It's literally so weird. It's like, are you actually wanting to see that or no? It feels cursed. They have Spirit! Oh my god! Freebirds, I remember that. All dogs go to heaven, it'll make me cry. It's gonna be wall to wall gossip and then some leftist stuff. Not really. You're actually gonna be kind of surprised. Obviously, we have Philip DeFranco because Two Dangerous Women force you to lock in with Tech House Mix. That's brutally beef. It's so descriptive for no reason. Obviously, like workout stuff, that sort of thing. I don't know what this is. Random movie things. I think. Oh yeah, that's that one. Why does guitar exist? I've been doing a deep dive. We have your dog may not be able to read a clock, but it can still sense what time it is. Dogs aren't stupid. Ashark News Live. This is like me learning Arabic and that sort of thing. I like looking at townhouse stuff, more music. I really listen to like a lot of house stuff. Uh, Clips. Younger Hunger, Elmer. I really like that song. Obviously, like fashion stuff, movie stuff, reviews, garden answer. It's really boring. Then you have like Nicole Raffi. I started watching that a little bit and I was like, oh, okay. Let's see. The makeup artist utilizes your flaws. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Lots of like music stuff. I had to stop watching How to Renovate a Chateau because they're pro Israel. I was like, damn, that sucks. Qatar exists because those Al Thani madmen managed to resist Saudi Arabia for 40 years. True. True, true. Al Jazeera English Live. I was watching that earlier. Also, like, I do watch a lot of fashion stuff, not gonna lie. The Entire Life of Jesus on a Map. That's been in my recommended a lot. I don't know. This is just kind of what it is. Oh yeah, I've been watching this girl for a long time. She does like she's a stripper. She made a lot of money. We hate the cold. I'm so happy he's getting more attention. He travels a lot and that sort of thing, and he got stuck in Nepal. Do you guys want to watch that? It's pretty good. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, this is pretty much my feed, y'all. Self-deleting neurological apocalypse bird box. Yeah, that's kind of my feed. He's like a cool version of Lord Miles. Yeah. Oh my god, this one's super cool. This one's super cool. I want to go here so bad. Oh my god. Ah! I'm watching that later. Anyways, that's my feed, guys. Uh, let's see. Master Arabic verbs and that sort of thing. I'm really boring. Just so y'all know. But eventually we could like watch movies and stuff. YouTube is so fucking sick, it's far better than TV. I know, I know. But that's pretty much what I watch. So I don't know what that says. Lots of like workout, lifting things, because I always like to find stuff for better form and then language and blah blah blah. Especially Alien Earth. Do you condemn Wayland Yutani Josie? I don't know! Bruh, bruh, I don't know. You keep asking me and I don't know, man. What do they do? Like, what even is the war? Please explain. Please explain. My TikTok is a bit more cursed, though. My TikTok feed is like more. It's like memes and lots of lefty stuff. Apparently, Trump announced in the meeting that I was watching his White House presser earlier today with Memphis, Tennessee, basically stating that they're going to try to do what they did in Washington, D.C. and Memphis and just like crank down on crime or whatever. And they're also talking about Charlie Kirk, blah, blah, blah. I was mainly there for the open questions. The signing and that sort of thing is pretty boring. But regarding TikTok and the ban, that's supposed to happen on the 17th or maybe like Friday or something like that. They're meeting with President Xi on Friday to negotiate. So let's see. Daria says, OMG, if you want to see something unhinged, I watched Piers Morgan Uncensored earlier, and Destiny has gone off the deep end. Do explain. I don't engage in a lot of drama. I'm like, honestly, in my free time, unless I'm studying stuff or whatever, the only time I see stuff about other content creators is one, if there's something big happening, so it's like covered in the news or whatever, or on my TikTok and Instagram, on my Instagram too. And I try not to like see a lot of it because I'm just like, ah. Oh, and I forget, I think Al, I don't know if you watch the VODs, but I'm starting to listen to more Arabic music, and it's actually really helpful. It's really helpful. And I've been getting more Arabic stuff in my TikTok, which is really nice because I'll see comments and they'll be in Arabic and I'll be like, oh, I know what that says. And I'm just like, yay. Darius says he refused to condemn the shootings of Charlie Kirk and went at all of them for virtue signaling. One some level, it was quite impressive. I don't know. That man stresses me out. I even before like all of the weird stuff that happened after you know what's going on with like Gaza and that sort of thing. Even before then, I didn't really watch his content. Like I really haven't watched a lot of political commentators online. There's a couple of them that I've seen and I've tried to engage with, but it honestly like I want to talk to them and be like, what do you mean? And I want to understand what their angle is with stuff. Or not really with stuff, but like I want to understand their perspective. But you can't really have that conversation if you're consuming. So I understand, I don't know. I like the conversational aspect of it. And if there's no conversation, I just kind of get bored of it. Although I respect how their opinion's important. So obviously if it's like something big, I'll like pay attention. Darius says, I've always thought he's got an incredible grasp of rhetoric and detail setter, but he's such a novice. I don't even know what to say. I don't think it's content's for me. And I just I really am not a supporter of Destiny. And I never really have been. And I'm not getting into like the beef between like him and like, you know, other lefty streamers and that sort of thing, because he has a lot of beef with a lot of fucking lefty streamers, not just Hassan. But yeah, I just stay so far out of that shit, mainly because I didn't watch his content anyways. I didn't find a lot of value in his content for me personally anyways. So I'm not super invested in it. I was just kind of like, oop, I guess that checks out. And then I was like, moving on. I just don't give it a lot of attention because like unless he changes his ways and tries to like be better or whatever, I don't find a point in talking about him that much, you know? Yeah, I like beef, but it's so counterproductive in politics. The three biggest streamers can't get together and even do basic things at a local level. It's because, okay, here's the reason. Here's my personal perspective as to why that is. It's because the three biggest lefty streamers that exist have very polarizing perspectives with one another. So you have like, I don't know, is Destiny even big? I don't consider him like super huge, but I think there's like what, like Central Committee, isn't he like a really big one? Is he like a bigger one? I don't know. Central Committee, Hassan's obviously the biggest, and then I don't even know if Destiny is big or not. But basically, like those are like the three kind of demographics that I see kind of people fall into those three categories the most in like lefty spaces. The Destiny stuff is kind of like, oh, you got Hassan as a Marxist. I don't even know if he is a Marxist. Vouch as a socialist and Destiny as a liberal. Those are the three big ones for each kind of sphere. Ah, that makes sense. I really don't watch Vosh though. Yeah. It's I don't know. All three of these, like, so here's the thing. Andrew watched a lot of Bosch for a very long time, and I had to watch it. And then we heard about like the whole like lolly shit. Is that what it was? And then it's just like, damn. Oh, hi, Rama. Hola. Barry says he's a Marxist-Leninist in his own words, Josie. I know that's not far left enough for you, but it's the world we live in. I don't know. I still don't have like oh wait, we're talking Spanish? I'm just gonna speak in English just to make it easier for everyone. I'm doing pretty good, Mama. How are you? Let's see. I mean, I don't know. Idealistically, I don't want it to be like a weird. I'm not even gonna get into it. Pero hablar español. I just don't like speaking too much Spanish, just because a lot of people here aren't like Spanish speakers. Like it's like every time I try to do Arabic practice, like everyone leaves, and then I get really nervous, and then we'll have special days where we'll do more language learning and stuff like that. Don't worry, y'all. uh, let's see. Yeah, you've been living in Chile for 4 years. Was that what you said? You lived in Chile for 4 years. I don't know what the last part is. Sipo. Chile has like a different dialect. Y'all are distracted. But personally speaking, did you catch that, Dumpy Bruh? Technically speaking, I don't know. I think the three categories are obviously never going to really combine because it's like expecting someone who's a central kind of right winger to be super MAGA. Like, it's just not going to happen. They all are very, very different categories. Although I could see more like socialist stuff getting more in line with like Marxist Leninist stuff, but that's because they kind of go hand in hand. Like, you can't really have Marxist Leninism without having aspects of socialism involved in it. So like I could see that kind of being more together, but being a liberal is just a choice, you know? Away. Bruh! Chill. Josie aquí hablamos español. I under add an I there. Please. I can speak a little bit of Spanish. I understand more Spanish and I can read more Spanish. That's just because I've been around a lot of immigrants. So you kind of you learn, and a lot of my friends growing up were Spanish speaking. Like most of my friends growing up were immigrants. So not all of them. I don't know. I'm not gonna dive really deep into it, but I like that conversation with like who falls on what lines and why and that sort of thing. I just don't necessarily like. I don't know. I try not to go super deep into my political perspectives because with the work I'm doing outside of this, it can get me in some trouble. Like I don't know. Bruh, Darius, English, por favor, habla inglés, please. Just so everyone can understand what you're saying. I don't want to have to translate the whole time. Because you also speak in a lot of slang. I don't know all that slang. Making it hard for me. I do want to keep talking about that though. I am very, very interested in it. I want to know your guys' take because we don't really talk about like other content creators in like the space, you know? Yeah, because I'm a Spanish genius in it. Bruh. No, but seriously, like, why do you think that they can't coexist? I think, because like I said, my perspective, and hi, Oliva. Oh, you're still wet. I got hosed down outside. Yeah. Thank you, bud. Hey, bub, you want to say hi? You sure hi. Wait, where's your nose? Oh, no! You're not sure your nose, love. Want to say hi? Okay. Okay, only a couple pets, and you have to go, okay? Okay. Larry says personal stuff mainly. They all came from Destiny before it went nuclear, and there's too much pride there. Oh, really? Wait, I don't know like the tea. So did I know I learned that I don't know. I don't know. Actually, don't dive into the tea. I don't really want to know. I don't need to know. Uncle Dad says, hey, hey, hi. You know Hassan and Destiny were best mates? No. I literally do not know like any like I want you guys to understand that when it comes to multiple content creators, specifically the larger ones, like if they start talking about their personal life in one year, out the other. And then actually not normally. It doesn't normally go in one year out the other. I stop watching if they start talking about personal things because I am afraid of having a parasocial relationship. Andrew knows I live in fear. I don't want that. Dara says Bosch came from Destiny's community as well. They used to debate, etc. Oh. Oh. That's why everyone's so like, oh. What's the topic? Well, I'm learning about lefty internet lore. I I want you guys to understand that I was so like offline when it came to my lefty stuff. Like everything I did, from like the militia I was in to organizing, like volunteering for like Bernie Sanders shit, like literally campaign work, everything that I have personally done has been offline. Like I didn't start engaging with like politics online until COVID-ish. And before COVID, I had like a Twitter thing that I did a little bit, which didn't get like a ton of traction, and I stopped doing it when I was like college, other priorities and stuff. So I just put content out there. I didn't really consume other people's stuff. Like I'm not really I struggle with consuming other people's content. Not because I don't care, I don't like it. It's just I come here to make my own content. So it's hard for me to understand. So I don't know. Darius says, for Gossip Pound, I'm stunned you don't know about the love story between Swan and Destiny, ironically. They met when Destiny reviewed Swan's debate with Charlie Kirk like 10 years ago. So the whole Charlie. Yo, it's all full circle. What the fuck? Yo. Yo. This is tea. Sorry, I'm not smiling because I'm just like, holy fuck. It makes everything make sense because people are like, do you not under like Andrew was like, how do you not understand how this is like super I know I have to file them because I'm trying to take better care of my nails. I broke this nail. So I have to file them down. Because if I don't file them, they get caught on things and they go. So yeah. And it's also something to do with my hands while we're talking. So I was doing a lot of like handiwork. Not handies though. You know what I mean? But yeah, they look fine. Thank you. I have to fix them so they don't get caught on stuff. Because they get brittle. Look at the title of this video. Yeah. So they all are like, oh. They break up over Kamala misinformation. That was 6 years ago. 6 years ago. And Destiny posted that. Yo, I want you to know I've never seen a Destiny video. Like, I literally, the only content that I really watched was like Hassan's content. And that was because, like, I've talked about this before. And I want you guys to know that this was like my exposure to more like, not even just my exposure. Honestly, the people I was working with, online, not like online in person stuff, like we were anyways, my whole like little local group organization that we had going on or whatever, they wanted me to start watching all these people. Like I heard about Destiny from them, I heard about like Hassan from them, I heard about Bausch from them, like all of them. I heard about all of them from that group. And I never watched any of them. They would like show me clips and I'd be like, cool. And then when COVID happened, like I watched some Hassan stuff, mainly because I don't know. It wasn't even like all for the political stuff because honestly, at that point in time, I was probably far more left than he was. So I just listened to it because it was like not even a lot. It would be every once in a while. It would come up in my feed. And I started watching Twitch because I was like lonely. So people would be like gaming really loud and yelling and stuff like that. So I'd put that on. And then a stream would end, and then I would just go to like the next one. So I'd watch it a little bit. Andrew watched a lot more than me, and he got me watching like a little bit, but like I didn't really watch it at all. I actually didn't even understand that he was doing political content until he was on the H3 podcast when I was doing a deep research dive into their content. I'm not even joking with you. Like I literally like knew nothing. I just thought like I just listened to it every once in a while to like drown out whatever I would be like working on stuff. I wasn't even like paying attention most of the time. Um and now like obviously I support like what he does because I learned about it like through H3H3. Like if he didn't do that podcast, I would have no idea like the content that he did because I was still like studying. And then I was like, huh. I honestly I didn't like it. I, not that he was bad or whatever. I just like I didn't understand the hype because I was like, okay, not in like a bad way, but I was just like it's just I didn't consume that content. Dario says Destiny had a big come up because there was this the mental gamer during Gamergate called JonTron who was going on about immigrants and he got eviscerated by Destiny. Oh my god. Look how mad this thumbnail is in Big 2025. Oh, they were like all friends. Pokemon, Hasanabi, Andy, Millikanist, Destiny, and Yellow Spoon Girl IRL stream. Oh, ouch! Oh my god, this is why I struggle to like collaborate with content creators. Big fear, big fear. Swan stayed with Destiny for like a week at one point in his house. Fuck, that sucks. I don't know. I feel so bad. I had no idea about this. Holy shit. That actually sucks though. That sucks so bad. That's like my biggest fear. So it's not actually political between them. I think it's more personal stuff. Yeah, I would assume too. Ooh, so they like all go way back. Huh. Damn. And that Dan Saltman guy is similar. He used to hang out with someone. This is why I don't have internet friends anymore, y'all. I had a mini version, not of this, like to this extreme. I had a situation that made me stop streaming for a bit. Like, not just like I had IRL stuff going on, but like I came back and I had like people leaving me like hate comments, people like messaging me on Discord being really shitty to me because of like a whole drama thing that I wasn't even aware of with another creator that I mildly talked to a little bit on stream. Like I haven't done anything with anybody because it was so bad. And it was two creators that I like struggled with. The rest of everybody was fine. And then I'm just now like starting to talk and network with people again because it sucked so fucking bad. It like it was horrible. I lost like half my audience because of it. And it was all something that I learned about later. And it was all going back to this one content creator that I had like no affiliation with, like at all, really. It just was a whole thing. You never seen the Weasley Little Liar clip of Hassan and Destiny? No, you don't understand. I like do not know anything. I started making like content online because I like making content. I like producing things and I like doing stuff. I like talking to people and engaging. But when I'm like consuming political stuff, like I do my own thing. Like I watch every single like everything I talk about for the most part, like I don't even really get from the news. I get from the interviews themselves. Like I don't like watching political commentary because I want to be sure that what I talk about and what I discuss is my personal perspective. I don't want it to be muddled down by hearing other people's perspectives because it can influence you and then you just start parroting what other people say and I don't want to do that. Like it took me like I'm not even fucking joking with you. It took me 4 years to respect Hassan. Actually, 3. It just kind of happened this year, and I was like, okay. When he started doing more interviews, like the Japanese interview that he did, I was like, okay, I respect you. I respect you. And that, like, when he went to Japan, he was talking to, like, a socialist leader there. I was like, oh, he does interviews? Like, that was the first interview thing that I've ever seen him do. And I was like, oh, I respect that. Like, I had no idea. I don't watch, like, anybody do anything. And Andrew had to, like, point it out and be like, oh, look at this. Like, he's the one who shows me shit. Because otherwise, I'm just watching, like, UN meetings. I'm watching, like, Al Jazeera, like, sometimes I watch American news, but for the most part, I really don't, especially if it's international stuff. I don't really, like, it's been more recent that I started focusing on more American things and getting more comfortable talking about it on stream. Daria says, this is the exact moment the beef between them, like, officially started. I don't even know if I, like, want to, like, watch that. That sucks. That, like, sucks. So they were, like, what a liar, dude. I'm not even gonna like watch it on stream. I don't like watching that sort of thing. One, because it's gonna draw attention. I don't want to do that. I've seen people clip people. I don't want to do that shit. They were genuinely best friends. Yeah, that shit fucking sucks. I've had like fallouts with people that I really care about that, and I wouldn't want someone putting that on mine, so I'm not gonna do that here. Because, respect. This is why you shouldn't watch streamers for politics. Just read papers and do your own stuff. Yeah, that's what I do. Um, that just fucking sucks. That just sucks. And I don't know. I just like I don't know. I don't dislike any. Well, obviously, I don't like Destiny's content. I'm not like an advocate for Destiny, but that's because I don't like his takes. Like it takes a lot for me to respect you. And then even then it's like I okay, the reason why I don't come out here and I'm not like trying to network with people and trying to engage in people is because I grew up with like a magnifying glass on me with the church I grew up in. And the stuff, and I'm not gonna dive really deep into it, but a lot of what I did with my family wasn't like super publicized or whatever, but people like knew who I was. And if I had drama or beef with people, it would cause issues with my family and like the church organization and stuff. And I had that stuff happen. It was not great. So, like, I understand how a lot of public facing stuff has to go. And that's why I just don't affiliate with, like, yeah, this stuff echoes because it's not the same because this is a whole different scale and this is all super public. Like, the stuff I had to deal with growing up and everything, not even just growing up, but here on Twitch with like my old audience and stuff before it like cycled out and now we've started doing more things. That's like not even close to being at this level that like they had to deal with because they built their audiences together from what you're saying. And that shit, oof, oof, it gets you attention, which gets more people to watch you and stuff like that. Like Hate Watch is great engagement, but yeah, it's like when I feel like that's the position or that time period in my personal opinion is when your brain shifts from being like this is a hobby to this is like a job. And like I can't promote certain people or I can't do whatever with certain people. Like I'm not able to do that. And that comes at different levels for different people. And sadly that happened to them after they were more popular and that sucks. Hassan took Destiny's audience more. Destiny was a far bigger streamer at the time, and Hassan wasn't well known, believe it or not. Yeah, I mean, everyone grows in like certain stuff. Very rarely are people like born into that. Oof, oof, oof. Hmm, that's like fucking Tio. So then, oh, wait, that makes sense. Why like the Ethan Klein shit or H3H3 became like super close with the Destiny people, and they started like the community is really aligned because both of them bonded over like Hassan going on, the audience liking him more, and then him leaving, and a lot of the audience going with them or siding with them. That shit's so personal. Fuck. I hope he doesn't talk about it a lot. Oh man, I'm glad he didn't talk about it for super long. But like, holy shit. Oh my god, you can't engage in that. Like, you can't. Like, you can't. If you have like people ganging up on you, like if people have to gang up on you in order to try to take you down, it's funny. It's funny. Uh, Interesting. Dari says, "Do you know about Hassan and the Young Turks, Josie?" I know you guys mentioned to me the Young Turks before. I know about them. I thought their name was interesting because of the history behind like the Young Turks, um, and that group that existed. So I was like, oh, I was I thought it was originally like when I first heard about it, I associated it with like the actual Young Turks organization that existed in Turkey like a while ago. So I was confused that it was like an American thing. I don't know. I don't know a lot about this stuff though. Just so you know. Yeah, it's a wild name to be honest. I know, that's why I was like, I didn't think that it was like an American political. This is so interesting to me. I'm like, well, I learned about it like a while ago, but the connect. I'm cheesing because oh, I love the drama, but like also I feel so fucking bad. And I'm learning because no one's explained this to me. Like I've seen stuff on Reddit, like Andrew showed me stuff because he's like, Josie, you need to know this, like you stream. And I'm like, oh, like he is more of a fanboy for like Hassan. He also watches like I don't think he watches like a lot of the Young Turks, but you guys asked for my opinion on them like a while ago. I think it might have been you or someone else, and I was like, I really don't know because I thought that they were affiliated with other stuff, and you guys had to educate me because I'm so like not on. I just do. This is like me starting to be comfortable doing more like left leaning stuff online. Beforehand, we had like a strict policy of like when we had conversations about like we just everything had to be like off, you know? Let's see. Hassan's uncle runs the Young Turks and he has some very embarrassing clips of him from like 10 years ago. That checks out. I mean, 10 years ago is different. I put it down to him playing a character, but it hasn't aged well. Yeah, that's kind of what happens. The media field from like the 2010s is very different than the media field now. If you wanted to become popular back then, you would have to have a very different persona. Interesting. It's still interesting though. If you're online for a decade, you're gonna have dodgy stuff, chasing trends and things. Yeah, that's why I try really hard not to do anything like that. Like I'm so like even other like people that I have spoken to online have been like, you are too particular about how you talk about things. And I'm like, you don't even understand how lax I am being. Like if my grandpa could like come out from the grave and see the shit I was doing, he would fucking oh oh he'd be like, you are doing all of this wrong. You are not doing this properly. If you were going to discuss because my grandfather, he was involved in the church, like he was an elder in the church, blah blah blah. He had a history slash like current events political study that he would do every single weekend with people, which is why like I do my kind of like Tuesday, Thursday things, and I just change it depending on the day. Sometimes we do history. I'm literally not following his exact framework, but it's something that I like doing because that's what I grew up doing. I helped him write the lessons. Like I got really engaged in that. That was like my favorite thing to do with him because we didn't get along with a lot of stuff. So I'm doing all this and if he would be alive, he would be fucking yelling at me. He'd be like, you shouldn't be doing any other social media stuff. You need to keep it like this. You shouldn't be like talking about your life, your history, or anything. So I'm like, whew. Your grandfather didn't fight in World War II for you to streaming plants on Twitch. No, he didn't fight at all. That was like my other grandpa. He didn't even fight in World War II either. Realistically speaking, he like barely got to fight in anything, if at all. He was most of his time was in reserves, honestly. That's why I said he didn't fight in World War II. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, but yeah. So like I understand a lot about it because I would have to travel and do that sort of thing. And I had to like have a very curated image for my grandfather and his job. So if I were to help him like give lessons and that sort of thing, sometimes I'd be like an aide for what was going on with the youth. So I would have to be online all the time and do lots of research on different trends, different cycles. So we could talk to those, like, you don't even understand. And it's like not a great church or whatever, which all of that stuff that I had to do there is why I started doing this here, because I'm trying to do a better thing. So my background in all of this stuff is very much not affiliated with like any of the political popular people here, and I'm very nervous to participate because of all of the conditioning I had growing up, like for lack of better terms, like PR training. So so when I came on here, I was like, I'm gonna break every single rule of like what he taught me to do, which is so cringy. But yeah. Yeah. And then now I'm kind of settling into like more content that I enjoy. But I thank you for like filling me in because I had no idea. And I wasn't gonna pursue any of this either. Because one, that shit fucking sucks. And you never really know what was like going on with those people too. Because it's all behind the scenes. And you just get like as the audience, you can only really speculate what's going on. So I just don't pay attention to it for the most part. I'm just like, oh, some shit obviously happened. But I'm not gonna be like trying to fill in the blanks, you know? Daria says there's literally no decent political streamers for the UK. It's so annoying to hear them talking about Trump nonstop instead of our own issues. I know. I was just watching your guys' meeting that you guys had today, and that was very interesting. Hmm. You guys have a lot, like how you guys handle things is very different. Very, very different. Or they're just insanely left tankies that hate everything. I know. Being around tankies all the time is very exhausting. And yeah. Yeah, that's just all I got to say. Are they all anti-Ukraine as well over there? I don't know. I don't really talk to. Mm, I think it depends. It depends on who you're talking to. The further you go left, though, the less sympathy they kind of have for a lot of people in Ukraine. So there are some real lefty communities where they're not even necessarily pro Russia, but they're also not pro Ukraine. Like they think that both establishments are inherently faulty and it's an inevitable war. So there's some lefties that fall into that category. And that would be most likely people that I used to know would be in that way because it was something that we would talk about sometimes. Like, where, because, Russia invaded Ukraine, at least some of the regions in like the 2010s. So we were talking about like when they would potentially invade again and what would happen. Um, but yeah, because Russia, there's lots of stuff that goes into it. But yeah, there are people who are very, very much like pro Pro-Ukraine. Um, for reasons that aren't always the best either. It's there's lots. There's lots. I don't know. I'm not as focused on that conflict. Andrew's really focused on it because he's very invested in like war materials and stuff like that. He's interested in like weaponry, and I don't really focus on that as much. And obviously the lines haven't changed a lot. I'm very interested in how Russia's trying to like test the lines with like having drones fly over Poland and that sort of thing. They said it was like accidental, but whatever. Let's see. Daria says our tankies are proper anti-Ukraine and our far right are as well. Horseshoe politics. Isn't it weird? Daria says this isn't the traditional left. This is the proper lefties that for some reason are the only UK Twitch streamers. Yeah. Yeah, it's because they can't find people to talk to IRL. That's why they do it all online. They're just flexing with their drones. They can't go to war with Russia, and they know it. We're gonna fly some planes around and shake sabers and then do nothing. Yeah, sabers, sabers. Sometimes I say sabers for me. Is it sabers? Sabers, sabers. Now I'm overthinking it. Okay, moving on. I just like, I don't know. Like, I tried getting more involved with like the lefty community on Twitch. Oh, say lightsaber and you'll have your answer. Okay, thank you. I don't know. Sometimes my brain's just like, like English is my first language, but I'm like fucked with it constantly. So hey, but yeah. Dang, I didn't know about all this stuff. It doesn't really change anything because I like I don't have the time to watch a lot of like other content creators because I'm doing other stuff. And like if I'm not working, like I'm working 2 jobs, 3 jobs technically. I'm in school. I volunteer regularly. I do gig work. Like I'm on like lots of different things. So I don't like the most I can do is like put in my headphones while I'm working and stuff like that and listen to um the actual raw details because nothing wrong with content creators and stuff like that. But obviously, when you are commentating on something, you are adding a lot of extra information to the material itself, which obviously that's why people watch it. Like that's the thing. But I don't have the time to listen to the commentary and the thing when it's better for me to just get the thing. Do I lack like the ability to learn about different perspectives? Yes, but that's why I come on here and I do content here and why I do stuff on TikTok, which I don't even know. It's weird. Getting into politics is weird there because people see me and they think I'm conservative, and then they hear me and then they're like, "What the fuck?" I don't know what's going on over there. I just make random shit. Fuck around, I guess. Adari says, I want political UK based streamers to check the Overton window, TBH. Social media has completely ruined everything. It's impossible to gauge what normal people are thinking. Yeah. Yeah, it is. That's the thing. And people get involved in their echo chambers and they don't always understand other perspectives. Which is like why on my stream I want there to be people with lots of different perspectives. I'm not trying to pander to a specific audience because that's going to cause more problems. Is obviously my like audience probably gonna lean more like center left? Yeah. Because that's like because I'm engaging in people who are more conservative. If I shot everyone down who was more conservative or had beliefs and stuff that I didn't necessarily like, then I would have a more left leaning audience base as a whole. That's just how that would go. But the more you entertain people from other perspectives, the more of a centrist audience you have. And also because I don't always talk about just politics and stuff. A center left socialist democrat or liberal at the moment? Uh, Wait, I'm gonna read what you said beforehand. I can't tell what the people of Darlington who went Tory for 6 to 7 years after voting Labour for 100, think about Brexit, etc., to predict what's going to happen. I think a lot of people personally are just really confused. Like, as someone who does a lot of like local engagement stuff, so like canvassing, that sort of thing. I mean, right now it's kind of like a dead zone because of we're in between election cycles and stuff. But I've had a lot of history, and at least not. I'm not. It's not like I don't know. You know, like I have a basic building block structure for a lot of that stuff. And my general like understanding is that people, when they don't know what to do, they look to an authority figure who they trust is going to give them information. That's just what it's all about. And that could either be someone on social media, and then whoever that person is recommending, they go for that. Like, I can guarantee you that there's plenty of people who watch like Bosch, Destiny, or Hassan, like any of those like 3 categories that you talk about, and even Charlie Kirk or Nick Fuentes or like whatever on the more conservative side of things, or even fucking what's the one girl who I don't know. Just like any commentator or whatever, there are people who watch them and they trust them so much that they will go with whatever they say. And that is just how it is. Because not everybody's going to have the time. Like, if I had children or I had like more responsibilities at like the home front where I had people to take care of and that sort of thing, like I did in the past, like why I had to take a break from everything, then I would I'd probably look to other people a lot more. Or I would just be like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, just do some in-depth research before, like, I vote. Spend, like, maybe 20 hours over the time span of, like, 2 months or something. Just researching before an election. But that's probably the most I'll do. It would be nowhere near the stuff that I'm consuming right now. So people just have to like they want to be involved but they don't have the time and they don't even know where to start, so they just look towards an authority figure. And that's why things get so they like snowball, because if everyone around you, not even everyone around you, everyone you trust around you is leaning in a certain direction, you're going to be more inclined to follow suit in that direction. And if you go against the grain, you could potentially lose your community. And as someone who has gone through that process, it's really hard to do that. Like, my political involvement that I did when I was younger isolated me not only from my old friends that I had that I was growing up with and stuff, but the general community that I was working in and harvesting for like a decade. And it just screwed me over in that front. You know, it was worth it in the end, but it's hard to go through that. Darius says center left social dem or liberal at the moment. I don't know what you mean. Darius says every vote we've had for 15 years has turned into a protest vote for the sitting government, so it's hard to tell how much of a threat reform poses at the moment, but it looks monumental. Yeah. Well, that's also a normal thing. Whenever things are struggling financially, I think Gary's Economics or whatever talked about this in one of his last videos. Andrew showed it to me. Well, he didn't show me the video, but he showed me like more of Gary's Economics stuff, and he was like, you should probably start watching him again. He started posting again. I was like, oh, bet, you know. He's a fucking lunatic, Gary. Yeah, how so? How do you think he's a lunatic? I think he's a little bit of a grifter, IMO. But not, like, I think he still wants to live a comfortable life, and he's going to do what he can to live a comfortable life, so that means he's going to restrict some of his commentary because of it. But that's how I can, like, keep track of a lot of things happening in the UK or Britain. But nowadays I've been watching more things as it comes up in like lives and that sort of thing. I just go through like different political lives, and then I'm just like, oh, because he's claiming moral values after pillaging the same way he's now criticized as well, misrepresenting how capital works. Yeah. I mean, he's not really gonna explain how it actually works and how to actually build like capital in the modern day, because otherwise he'd probably still be doing it. That's why I say he could possibly like be a little bit of a grifter nowadays, because he does like comfort. He lives a very comfortable life and everything. And he probably like, and he has said multiple times that, oh, I would have invested in this. Like, I still invest and do that sort of thing. Like, he's definitely still playing into stuff so he can maintain a comfortable life. And he criticizes it openly, but he still plays the game. And the hardest thing to really navigate when you're in lefty spaces is how much of the game do you play? Like, I'm not even joking with you. When I was doing more community work, like before COVID and stuff like that, like some of that militia group stuff and like our mutual aid stuff that we were doing during Black Lives Matter and everything, uh, when we were going through that process, I was adamant that I hated like social media stuff. I hated people who made money off of social media talking about like left leaning content. I thought they were all grifters. Like, I'm not joking. I am like, I didn't hate everybody because I was like, everybody has a thing. But because of the environment I grew up in, and I was with someone who, like my grandfather, who made money, and his job, like part of his job was to educate people on stuff and their perspective and everything. It put like a sour taste in my mouth, you know? And it was hard for me to really consume anyone and respect them. That's why I'm saying it took me years to respect like one of the biggest people on the platform. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Azaria says it's like a child version of how complicated economics works, and it's just not helpful to actual politics, as it's just tax billionaires when we have none left in the UK. Yeah. Yep. I know. He's talking about things that should have been implemented back when he was actually in the game. And that's something where even like sports commentators, when they talk about sports and athletics, and it's like 5, 10 years ago, the game has changed. The rules have changed. The pressure and methods and techniques that are being applied to the athletes have changed. You can see that with like soccer, football, baseball, even like the rules have very, very much changed in baseball since like, I was a kid. Like, there's lots of things that change constantly. And when you're not in the game anymore and you're just on the sidelines, you don't feel the impact of it, and you can't see how it ripples through not only the team, but the atmosphere of everything. And because Gary is not like in the game at that level anymore, or able to maintain the connections that he did have when he was at that level, because why would people tell him everything when he's basically like an open fucking leak at that point? Like, they don't want to be around someone who's just gonna fucking rat them out to the public and be a source for that. He's not a journalist, he's just a podcaster. So until he like goes to that route where he can have that integrity of like anonymity with his sources and stuff, they're not going to respect him. And he's not going to be able to give you that good information. He's giving you the stuff from the past. And if you can filter it out through the lens of that, then you can take what's useful and then toss the rest. Which sucks, but it's true. Daria says, he just gives easy answers to complicated issues, and everyone goes, oh, why can't we do that? Because he misrepresents the actual reality of the situation, which doesn't help actual impactful change. Cole says, huh? What baseball rules have changed? Literally so many. Like, how long you're allowed to, like, stand on the pitcher's mound without throwing a pitch. Also, like, oh, man, I have to rack my brain. This is as of, like, 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. 2023 is when I learned more about this. You have the pitcher's mound regulation. You have, like, some clothing stuff where you're not allowed to wear certain things because it could like enhance like cheat stuff. You can't have like Apple Watches or that sort of thing where you can, get text messages with like oh, this person's probably going to do this or whatever. There's more restrictions on communications between coaches and players while the game is ongoing, so on and so forth. But those are just some examples. I highly recommend diving deeper, but the rules do change like every couple of years. They try to modernize most sports. And ever since they made those changes, it's been getting more popular again. People have been showing up. Daria says, equipment has surely gotten better, quicker throws, bigger hits, meaning coaching priorities have to adapt, I'd suspect. Yeah. Yeah. And regulations for coaching, like how they can interact with their athletes, is also different. Different safety precautions too, like before, if you were to hit someone, like they were up to bat or whatever, you're on the mound and you hit an athlete like out of the box or whatever, you could get in potentially more trouble now than like you could 10, 15 years ago. They can just like say, oh, well, you had this like idea or whatever. They'll make you sit out longer, higher penalties and that sort of thing for accidents and so on and so forth. Instant replay also changed the game, but that was like a while ago. I think that was like 20 or so years ago that became popular, but yeah. But there's quite a few rules that have changed. Usually it's more about interaction and stuff. Yeah. But anyways, that's like my opinion on like Gary's economics and stuff. So like whenever you are consuming content from someone who was invested in something, like even when I'm talking about the church I grew up in, I can only tell you about the perspective that I have from growing up in it and being indoctrinated in it. But the minute I left, like in 2016 ish time period, where I fully like cut ties with it, and then by the time I like absolutely left the entire community, like stopped having friends and stuff like that that were involved in like COVID-ish time period, disconnected from everybody, because that's what it took for me to be able to live my life, I wouldn't be able to tell you a lot of what's happening. And I don't pretend to be able to tell you like, oh, they're doing this, oh, they're doing that, or whatever. And I barely keep up with it for the most part, because there's not really a lot of because I'm not in the weeds of it, I can't see the tone and I don't have reliable sources for it. So why would I comment on it that much? When I'm talking about stuff in the past, then yeah, but I'm not trying to build my platform on that because I'm no longer involved, you know? Dari says, right, it's almost bedtime for me, Josie. I can offer you a 45-minute video detailing his loss and Destiny's relationship, but I suspect it would awaken something in you we wouldn't be able to control for. I probably wouldn't even watch it, yo. I honestly, the not even the only time, but I pretty much only watch Hassan's content when he's doing interview stuff because that's what I respect him for. So the more content he does like that, the more I like support him, and the more I'm not like support like financially. I don't like donate a lot or whatever, but like the more I'm like, oh yeah, go you, because that's something I have respect for, because that is hard work. Like it takes a lot to interview people, and he's just now starting to get more comfortable and get the ropes of it, and yeah, and he needs to do more interactions with the public. He needs to like start meeting more everyday people and getting more natural with that, because once he gets that done, he'll be like a pretty good reporter. Like actually, I would say not even just like right now he's decent, but when he can relate to people who have been through more stuff and find more of that humanity in people, he'll do really good. Like really, really good. Daria says, I only watch clips now. I find him poorly prepared and surface level most of the time. Yeah, it's because he's focusing on the other stuff. You have priorities. You can't do it all. Like, that's my personal opinion. It's either you dedicate your whole life to everything, have no social life whatsoever. It's like you have that sacrifice. And unless he hires other people to do research for him constantly, he's not going to be able to maintain that. It's like if I were to do more public, like I'm looking at it from my personal perspective. If I were to do more public facing things that required me to interact with lots of people, like spread myself that thin, like and travel all the time and stuff like that, I wouldn't have time to do the research necessary to give a lot of adequate details. So you'd have to rely on different people. Now the question is he going to build up his own workforce that can do more of that research, or is he going to rely upon his audience to give that to him? And I think that's really going to set the tone. Because if you do hire on a researcher, you have to be sure that they are better than you at your job. Because I would never hire someone who is not better than me at my job. Like, I would not do that. I'd be like, I want you to surpass me. That would be the goal. So, at least at some point. So if he can do that, he's going to do way better. If he can't do that, he's going to really struggle. If he's just going to rely on his audience, it's going to start falling. And it won't be quick. It could be quick, depending on if there's some scandal or whatever, and he relies on the wrong person. Yikes. But idealistically, you have 2 or 3 people that you would do that with. That's what I would do. Daria says, I expect a lot more from the top political streamer, TBH. Him, Asmongold, all of them don't even really do proper politics. It's just dribble. But that's why people don't watch them for that information most of the time. From my perspective, people watch them because they want to know the talking points and they want to see how people are going against each other. Because they're both framing the perspective not only left-wingers have, like, for themselves, but also they have for the oppositional party, both ways. I wouldn't say Asmongold is left-leaning, you know. Watching him literally pisses me off. It's like fucking rage bait. But, like, how do I say it? People watch them to see what the tone is. Not, at least that's why I would. I know, of course, but he's a political streamer now. Yeah, he put himself in that position. It's not gonna go super well long term, but... And that is the same thing. You have the same thing. Is he going to do more research on his own, or is he going to try to keep it casual? How is that evolution going to go? That's the thing. I'm more interested in, like, their career paths and how they have things function than some of their content, actually. But yeah, watching Asmongold just fucking pisses me off. He's just ridiculous, so I don't watch him. I watch him sometimes to see the perspective that he's promoting, I guess, but I can't, like, make it more than usually 30 minutes without, like, actually getting pissed off and, like, being like, I can't fucking watch this anymore. And I will, like, vent to Andrew. And he'll be like, girl, what the fuck? And I'll be like, this fucking, like, dude is so stupid. And that's why I don't do react content here, because, let's see. Daria says, so, if, like, I don't know, do people call her Pokemon or Pokemon? Gives a political take. I don't care because she's not a politics person. But when they position themselves as one, I find it depressing, the lack of detailed research or precision. But also, you don't understand. That, like, there's a lot that goes into that. Like, for me, when I was doing my Tuesday, Thursdays, like, historical, more political deep dives, I was doing research, like, at least for, like, the 2-hour segment that I had, probably about an hour and 15 minutes I'd actually be talking on the actual, like, thing. I'd be prepping, like, the ratio would be 1 hour of, like, content. I'd be prepping for at least 5-6 hours minimum just for that 1 hour. And then I would have to extend it into possibly the next day. I would have to cover multiple different avenues that you guys, the audience, would potentially take the conversation into. So I would always be prepared to have something to say. Like, that is what goes into it. They've got all data research, Josie. We have jobs, etc., and still manage to read books and not just review Twitter and videos. But that's the thing. That's the thing. When you're, like, I'm not trying to defend these people, but I know for a fact that, like, most of these people have external things and external commitments you have to do. Like, when you are a public-facing person, you are not just, and this is from my experience doing public-facing stuff, like, growing up in that, like, nonprofit space. Not only just nonprofit space, having to go to events, having to talk to different people who would donate all the time. Like, your job, when you are doing public-facing things, is going to be so much more. And then, like, when you get to be reputable and you get cozier in your job, you are going to have to branch out and do more things because that's going to draw more attention to your actual base position and get people to focus on you more. It's like this with any position you have. You can't just stay stagnant and not do a lot of stuff. So when you are, like, let's talk about content creators, right? Content creators, for the most part, from my personal perspective and the research that I've been doing for like over a decade now on just watching people, how they interact, how they build and stuff like that, they have to interact with at least like maybe 3 new content creators every single week. Whether that be like reposting content, interacting with content, talking to someone or whatever. Like Zach is a wonderful example. Why he's been able to stay very consistent with viewership and stuff like that, because he constantly goes into other people's streams, talks to other people, sees potential in people and stuff like that. He's doing the right things. If he could like tie a face to what he's doing, he'd probably do a lot better, because then that recognition is going to take you farther. Because if you want to play the game, you have to visually be there in order to do it. That's just how it works. So he's a great example. He does a really good job in everything. He's doing all the right things. He just needs to show himself more, like physically and stuff, which, yeah, that'll take time. Or you can do it the long, slow, grind out way. But you have to interact and collaborate with people if you want to be successful, or you need to have a trigger event that gives you notoriety that you can ride. But either way, you will have to interact with other content creators, because that will not only give you more relatability, because people from other audiences will see you and they'll be like, oh my gosh, they're actually like a real person, and like I actually relate to them. They don't just talk about this. It's like you have to build a mildly parasocial relationship with your audience. You have to get them to like you and stay. Now, as a consumer, you get to decide whether or not you want to have a parasocial kind of aspect or attachment, or if you would like to have that respect attachment. And you can do that on your own, you know? Let's see. My point, TV shows their stagnant. They just support very shaky political frameworks and don't actively examine their own beliefs. They're not political streamers, they're just politics as entertainment. Yeah, well, they have to talk about it because that it builds that, like, relatability. If you're going to do, like, entertainment-based stuff where you do variety work, you need to cover a variety of topics. If you avoid politics completely and you get to a level where, like, you're profiting off of it and you're building a larger audience, where like the level where people actively start reposting your content on their own and make reactions to you and stuff, and they could profit off of that, like that level, if you get there, then you have to cover more topics and you have to at least say something about it. So a really good example would be like Brittany Broski. People were really pissed with her because she would refuse to like have a say in what was going on in Gaza. Like she just wanted to do her music thing, but she wasn't there yet. Like she wasn't. And then now she talks about how like she's pro-Palestine and stuff like that, and now her audience is starting to respect her and come back, because it's not about the social issues. She could say she was pro-Israel, maybe lose some of her audience or whatever, but it's the fact that she's interacting with IRL, like the things that matter the most to the audience she has. What you say as a whole does matter, but it doesn't matter as much as people think it is. That's why people like Ethan Klein still have a larger audience. Like they're still profiting off stuff. Same with like a Destiny, or like people that are objectively not great. People don't just watch them because they relate to them. Most of the time, that's not even it. They watch them because they see the humanity in them. You don't want to watch someone who seems robotic. It's annoying. It's stupid, you know? Darius says neither of them interact with other content creators as part of their offering. Really, do they? Who? Are you talking about? Do you mind, like, are we talking about the Pokey Girl? I really don't know these people. I'm not trying to be derogatory when I say that. Hassan and Asmongold. Are you joking? They interact with so many content creators. Both of them do. Both of them are reposting people's content. They're reacting to people's content constantly. They're like reactors for sure. Even if they're not having a ton of people on their actual like broadcast slash like stream or whatever, they are still like using other people's like, yeah, like reacting, like talking to people. That is okay. That is the interaction. Because when you're at that level where you're profiting off of it that much, how do I put this? You can't have the interpersonal relationship with people and have that be super public unless they are vouched for. Like, that doesn't make sense, you know? And especially, like, all the internet drama that we were just going over with, like, Destiny and, like, H3 and all that fucking shit. Like, how Destiny, like, screwed a lot of people over, or, like, that's what I'm assuming, or, like, a lot of people, like, screwed each other over and stuff like that. That is why you don't, like, enmesh that much your audience with other people beyond like smaller collaborations, because that's what happens. Dari says, no, I don't mean debates, but I mean like having exploratory talks about, I don't know, possible inflation theories for tariffs. And I feel like I just kind of answered that a little bit, but that's why I mean, if I was in that position, I'd be very, very, not like extremely hesitant, because honestly, having someone that you can bounce off of is great, but you have to be sure that they're reliable enough um, to not really like take, how do I say it? You have to make sure that one, they're going to show up all the time, even if they're not going to agree with you. They have to show up consistently. They have to be willing to have like a set contract with you, like all that sort of thing. Like it is a business agreement at that point. And it's hard to negotiate that because they may have different avenues they want to go on. Because like even though social media in and of itself is very large and people can make lots of money off of it, that's just what people do. The actual like network of people who are at like the highest echelon is nowhere near than like traditional media. And the frameworks for having contracts are not super widely accepted as of now because everyone is basically, not even everyone, most people who are content creators are doing freelance work basically. Like they are their own boss. Very few of them have like their own companies set up. And they're just kind of like, and if they do, it's just so they can get money and do the taxes thing properly, but not really focusing on content and management that much. Like there are still a lot of very large content creators that do not have proper management. And then if you don't have that management, you can't interact with people who do. Let's see. Daria says, like, how often can two political streamers with that kind of audience conflate mercantilism with capitalism? It's beyond parody. But there's a thing. Like, you would have to, like, if I personally was at that level and I was doing stuff like that, I would want to have a contract with the people I was working with. It would not just be a willy-nilly thing. Like, I'd be like, hey, you come here X times a month or whatever, we hang out, we do this thing. Like, yeah, you can be friends with them, like, and build that relationship with time, but the contract, like, you guys are making money off of it. So, like, the contract has to come first. Like, you need to abide by the contract because it's kind of like having a prenup, you know? It's like a prenup in America, at least, is basically if you guys divorce, then this is how your funds are going to be distributed. You agree with that beforehand. If you don't have a prenup, the government and the court system gets to decide that prenup for you, and you have less say. And that's a lot harder to deal with, depending on the circumstance. So you kind of want that protection when interacting with people. Are you on a blatantly transactional basis for guests, essentially? No blaring concrete? No. No, I'm saying if someone's going to be consistently, like, interacting with people, that's how it should be. Like, if I were to have someone come on my stream, like, making enough money, they were making enough money to live off of it, I was making enough money to live off of it, or at least consider it to be, like, a job or a career path, I would have them and I have a contractual agreement that, hey, we are going to be doing it for this amount of time. If something happens and either one of us wants to pull out, like one of us wants to pull out and that sort of thing, here's what would happen if that were to happen. It's like protection. So if something emotional happens, like someone, I see, this is about nailing Andrew down to a contract. Oh, fuck no, he hates streaming. He likes to consume the content. I like to make the content. And he does not like the content that I make. He's like, why are you doing this? But it's fun. It's fun to like do the thing. But no, it's like, how do I say this? It's about having does he call us all freaks? No, because he does the same thing. He interacts in other people's streams. He watches like the Majority Report all the time. He watches like he watches way more Hassan than I ever do. No offense to him or whatever. I like the journalism stuff he does more than like his chatty Cathy stuff, and that's okay. Um, I don't know. It's just I don't know. He does more of that sort of thing. But back to the thing with the contractual things, you want to ensure that if something were to happen in the future, you have planned caveats so that you will be okay if that were to happen. So, like, if someone loses a relative or something like that, there's a bereavement thing that happens and they can't be there anymore, but you are both relying on the income that you get from that collaboration that you have. What do you do? So there's podcasts that were really popular. What's the fucking like I don't know what's going on with like H3 and their shit, but that's like a whole big thing with like Trisha Paytas and the whole Frenemies podcast is that they didn't have a lot of contractual like agreement and terms that were written down that stated this is going to happen and this is going to happen if something happens or whatever, and that made that blow up astronomically horrible. No, I don't like his content either, but because of the size that he was, this is what I was studying. Like when the Frenemies thing happened, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch their shit because they're not that organized with what they're doing. And people are able to take like leaves of absences on their podcast and that sort of thing willy nilly. And I mean, I bet nowadays, after what happened with Hassan, they probably are more focused on the contract stuff. But we as the audience don't know if people are still working there because they're part of that contract. Do they have to buy themselves out of that contract? Like, what are the parameters? I've been on the behind the scenes side of like this sort of thing more than I've ever been like a content creator. So this is what I think of when I watch people's content. Yeah, I think Trisha Paytas may have been his sister-in-law. That didn't happen until like later. He was really upset that they got married and everything. I don't know all the details, but uh, because it was like a whole fucking thing. But yeah, like having a contract and set parameters that say, hey, if we are no longer working together, if it is under these set conditions, this is what happens. Both of you agreed to that beforehand, so when the event happens, you're like, nope, we both agreed to this, and then you have a potential, especially if it goes poorly, you have a potential of just being like, well, we agreed to this, and if a legal thing happens, you have it all written down, so you're not fucked. Like, oh my god, I have seen so many bad business deals, and I have, like, it is not fun. It is not, like, mm-mm. And that's where we're pretty much at with social media work. Like, a lot of people who are content creators aren't savvy enough in, like, business structure and stuff like that to understand that that's a necessity. And it fucks them over. Was she his brother's fiance or something at the time? She's given birth to reincarnations of the Queen and Asia. I don't know. I don't know that much about it. I know that they started dating. Well, what I remember is because I got like hate comments about this. They're like, "Oh, are you just like learning Arabic or whatever because you want to date like an Arab man and that sort of thing?" And I was like, "No, it goes a lot deeper for me." And like Islam and stuff like that. Like I've had people like be really shitty to me about like doing research and like getting involved in the community stuff and that sort of thing. And they're like, are you like a Trisha Paytas? And I'm just like, no. And obviously, like, she has her own mental health problems. But basically, Ethan Klein, from my understanding, super fucking shitty to her. because she was getting really invested in Judaism and Hebrew and stuff like that because she wanted to learn about it. And then he said that she was romanticizing it. And then because she ended up dating, like, I don't know all the details, but this is my understanding. Because they started, like, dating and that sort of thing, and she ended up, like, dating a Jewish man, then he got really pissed and he was like, oh, you're just treating it like a novelty thing or whatever. But yeah, that's like my understanding. And then I think he was probably more offended with other things. But I mean, if you just look at like their careers, like he's still stuck doing the same thing. He's not able to branch out or interact into like more newer media cycles. This is what I'm talking about. Like every time that he tries to branch out with other content creators and stuff like that, he always gets screwed because he has to stay in his little box. That's why he's in control. That's why he has to pay people to collaborate with him rather than being able to collaborate with other people. Like there's obviously contractual like agreements between him and his staff members. Which if it wasn't so, like people were free range coming in and trying to interact and like do stuff. Like what happened with Trisha Paytas is they didn't really have a lot of contracts and caveats and that sort of thing. I have no idea what happened with like the podcast he had with Hassan because I stopped watching that whole thing because I was like, holy fuck, Ethan Klein is being shitty and he's treating his workers like shit. I learned what I could and I stopped watching. I was like, I don't like this man. And that was before his whole like controversy with Hassan and stuff. Like I stopped watching H3H3 in like 2023-ish, like before I moved out to California for a little bit. Let's see. Daria says, unironic. Oh, wait. Daria says, I can understand that to some degree. A lot of people wear identities like clothes now. Yeah, it is true. Daria says, unironically, I feel the same about United fans. Before or after the Israel arc that they went on. No, I was like, I quit before. I quit long before because from what I was understanding, that's when I was able to piece together, like, oh, Trisha Paytas, like, left and that whole debacle happened because they didn't have good contract. And she was really stressed out and he was trying to just, like, put her down and everything like that. But because they didn't put enough caveats and, like, involved and stuff, she didn't have proper management to help her through the process. Then she got like screwed over throughout everything. There's a big blowout. He was able to frame her as like mentally ill and crazy and stuff, and it ruined her reputation for a couple of years. And it took her a while to get past that, to the extent where now she has her own podcast where she's successful and she has better management that can help prevent the same thing from happening. I have no idea what like happened to like the Hassan thing though. Yeah, this is what I study when I watch people. But yeah, it's very fascinating. Very, very, very fascinating. But that's why I was watching H3 so much, because I was like, I wasn't really like a fan of their work. I engaged in some of their content because I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to be here and not like have my 2 cents to put in or whatever. But I stopped like any support when I realized that they were taking advantage of the content creators coming on and not giving them healthy contracts. But yeah, that was way before the whole like, you know, Israel, Palestine, Gaza situation. But yeah, Daria says, I've got to go to bed. I'm sorry, Josie, it's far too late for me. It's okay. I do have to go soon too. So I hope you have a good one. I only have about like 10 minutes left and then I have to chill out for a little bit. Good night. Good night, good night, rest well. This is actually a really fun, interesting conversation. We don't necessarily get to discuss this stuff often, and I personally think it's rather fascinating to dive into, because this is the side of media that I love, and that's why I want to do like my own content and stuff, because I'm very curious. Like in doing my own content, I've obviously I've turned down lots of opportunities and stuff, like tons, and that has been probably not the best for my growth or whatever, but I've gotten to see like those opportunities come and pass, and for the exact reasons that I've been describing to you now, and for the past like hour and a half probably, is the very same reasons why I have not committed to a lot of stuff. And why I still do a lot of free range. It's not that I'm not willing to talk to people or collaborate, but I'm like on my grind set right now. I'm not sharking, but I kind of am sharking. I'm just like, do 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 do. But yeah, I don't know. But this is because I grew up in public facing stuff, and I was exposed to lots of journalism. I did like shadow stuff with that sort of thing, and like when you I don't know, it's kind of boring, but like yeah, since I grew up in that, I'm like laser focused in on it, and that's why media has been so fascinating to me because I grew up in media, and seeing how people handle it now is very different than how people used to handle it. So yeah, and it was never like super large scale like Hollywood or whatever. I got to do random things, that sort of thing, but I wasn't even allowed to participate a lot because my grandpa was like very against me getting involved in it as like a career because of you know what it entails. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Wow, we talked about that for a long ass time. I learned a lot today, though. That was interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I also have to cook tonight, too. I think I might make, like. Oh no, we have to go to the groceries, so I think I might do, like, a mac thing. We have lots of mac and cheese. And a ramen. Probably not a ramen, though. I don't think I have enough meat to make what I want to make. Anyways, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, though. That'll be interesting. I've just been doing more current event stuff with you guys. I've just been trying to pivot more to like general news and then study background stuff. And sometimes it hits really well on Tuesday, Thursdays, because I've already done like the hours of research throughout the day, but sometimes it doesn't. And then I'm just like, yay. And don't get me wrong, I still like watch video essayists and stuff like that, and I still get clips from content creators, and I try to like and support the ones that I feel are at least trying to do really good stuff. So yeah, even though I can't watch a lot of stuff, but I'm very particular about who I support because I'm like, but if it's just like liking a random thing on like Instagram or whatever, I don't really like dive super deep into it. But I'm very particular about who I'm willing to like I don't know, do stuff with. I'm just interested in seeing how a lot of people do things. I don't know. But I'm also trying to not be like objective with people's careers anymore and like accept that they have their own stuff that they're creating and everything and that they're people too. Like you can't just like watch them and try to like deduce their business habits all the time like I did with H3. It's harder when people are independent. And then you have to learn a lot of stuff. So I just kind of like the people I actually like really enjoy and stuff like that, I don't really comment a lot on there or engage with them because I'm like, if I meet you, I want it to be like organic and I want to be able to like have like an actual like relationship or like actual interaction that's like not you working, you know? That would be more my thing. So I only engage if I feel that it could be helpful. So it's like words of like, oh, you're doing good or whatever, that sort of thing. But I try not to be just like just another comment or whatever. I want it to have meaning when I talk to people. Is that weird? I feel like I'm so weird about the online stuff. I talk to people about this and they're like, girl, what the fuck are you on? It's not that deep. But I personally think it is, because it is. I talked for like 2 hours about
Big
how
yeah.
I am with content.
Want mac and cheese?
Oh, are you making it? Or I was gonna make it. Didn't you say it was my turn?
Doesn't matter. It's mac and cheese. You boil water and you put pasta and powder in. It's like 2 minutes of work. Same with pizza.
Mm.
Do you want me to make it or do you want to make it?
Fucking little bitch. You're gonna make me mad. George says hi, Andrew.
Hi, George.
You're gonna make me so mad. Oh my god.
Do you want me to make it or do you want to make it?
Motherfucker. Wait, we were talking about like who you watch online.
Dog, give me a yes or no.
I'm gonna give you a yes or no when I'm done streaming. We got like 6 minutes, so we're gonna talk for a second if you want to. But we were talking about who you watch online. I was saying you watch like the Majority Report. You watch more content
For like
creators than I
news
do.
or
Yeah.
what?
Well, just like no, like news, I guess.
I watch the Majority Report because I think Sam Cedar's funny. Legion Miller's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who you've been like watching the most right now. You showed me more.
I don't
clips
watch a
anything
ton of
than
like
anything
politics
else.
stuff right now. It's a little
Like
Brady.
every day, you're like, it's okay if you don't want to talk about it. It's okay. I respect. Respect.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye.
Well, I'm gonna let you do the mac and cheese then, if you're not gonna give me an answer.
Wait, you want an answer right now?
Yes, because I'm gonna start it if you're not going to. It's not that difficult. It doesn't need to be this difficult. You're making it difficult.
I accept you making the mac and cheese.
Okay.
Okay. Y'all are gonna be like, what the fuck is that about? You guys don't need to know. You don't need to know. Yeah. Dang. Okay. I don't even know if I should source all these videos. I feel like I learned a lot. I learned things that made me uncomfortable. R.I.P. though. I don't even know, man. My brain's still like processing everything. I gotta be here for the 2 hours. That's like my time commitment thing. Obviously tomorrow we're probably gonna talk more about current events. A lot of the Arab nations or whatever came together, and we're talking about mac and cheese is high in salt content. That's why I get so poofy. Makes it so I can't shit, bro. I look real pudgy. It's like, I don't know, today I just kind of stopped caring. I've been, like, because I've been working out more, you guys probably don't even care about this, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways, at least a little bit. But, like, my body is, oh, big jump. It's so good though, I know. I try to make my own mac and cheese, so it doesn't have as much salt. But we have, like, a lot of it left over. Like, box back. And in the winter, slash like fall when we're both really busy, we consume a lot of it. I technically have like a couple chapters I gotta read today. There's some chapters I gotta do. I have more research I gotta do, and then it's hard because like I want to get my degree and stuff like that. But yeah, that's why I'm only in school part time because otherwise I wouldn't be able to stream because of all the stuff that goes into it. Hopefully I like pass my classes. I hope so. Cold says nice. Well, I mean, what's your favorite food? Because like most of the time we make everything on our own, and when I make my own food, or so do you guys share one box or both eat like a whole box? Oh, we share, and we get like the specialty mac stuff. So I've been trying to track my macros more, and not have as much like sodium. But I've kind of been really bad about tracking stuff because it's like I don't weigh anything. It's just I should probably start it up again. This past week, I was like, I don't care. I can easily eat a box all by myself, easy. I can't. I used to when I was like young. I think if I start like lifting more or working out more, which I have been a little bit, but the more activity stuff I do, the more of an appetite I have. So sometimes I just don't really have an appetite, and I'm just like, well, okay, yeah. I don't know. Usually I could do like half, half. We split it, and then like more do exercise. Oh yeah, like almost every day I exercise, but I do different things. So I've been conditioning for a while now. Yeah. Good, good, thank you. Yeah. Eventually, once I get like I have some things I gotta figure out before I continue doing like more dance classes and lifting and stuff like that. But I'm hypermobile, so I have to do really slow ramp up for conditioning. But once I get to that level, I'm good, you know? But yeah, so the past almost a full year, I've been doing like pretty good conditioning. Um, I'm lifting a bit more now too. Yeah. It does help with sleep and appetite a lot. That's why I don't like smoke weed anymore or do anything like that. I used to need it to like help me sleep, and now it just gives me a lot of anxiety. And before the anxiety was okay because I was just so tired that I would just use it to like help me sleep and everything. But now I didn't understand why people were like, "Oh, it makes me anxious," until later on, and I'm just like, "Oh," and it feels boring. Same with like I don't really drink much either anymore, so I'm like, every time I drink, I feel like guilty. I'm just like, ew. And then I feel like I'm like a burden on people. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry, I'm intoxicated. And they're like, girl, you're okay. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's hard for me to have fun unless I have someone who's like very like fun when they drink or whatever. But other than that, I'm just like not fun. Yeah. um, do you work out a lot too cold? I feel like you do, right? It's been so long, and then we just started diving into like some really like crazy deep shit, and I feel kind of bad. I'm like, damn. The problem is that working out takes like time. Like today, I was really struggling to be motivated the past couple of days. So like sometimes I'll do like at least 30 minutes of like actual like lifting. I haven't done like a lot of hit workouts because I do a lot of like physical stuff for my job. I don't really like hit workouts. I like steady cardio. So yeah, I have a gym that I have picked out, and then I'm probably gonna start soon. Colt says, yeah, I still work out. Won't be long. Till recreational hockey starts. Oh yeah, dope. I'm very proud of you. End of September. Yeah, you got a condition for that then, for sure. My problem is that like all of the like I used to do rock climbing and stuff like that, and that's very like physically intensive. Like I'm just now starting to get like my abs back. Like now when I look in the mirror, I have like a solid like line going all the way down like when I flex, like all the way to my belly if I just like relax. So that's nice. I used to have like a full on six pack most of the time. And then obviously it's not healthy to like be that lean constantly. It's just when I work out, it's really hard for me to like stay like I have to like really focus on eating more food because that's why I have to also like ramp up too because I don't know, I don't always have time to eat, which is problematic. And then that can like go into like not good stuff because you want to be sure that you're fueling yourself up enough so you can actually gain. So six packs are unhealthy? They can be. They can be. Like, it's really hard for me, like especially when I work out consistently to maintain like my fat. Like I'll bloat, but I don't really like gain weight, if that makes sense. So like it's just like poop. That's just hanging out. It's like poop. And that's just because I got like weird body stuff. So I would have to eat like I have to eat clean anyways because I have food allergies and all that stuff. So it's hard for me to bulk unless I'm just like eating tons of like not even protein, but like just I have to eat. I have to focus so much on carbs. Like I have to be like eating bread as like a snack and like I try not to eat a lot of junk food because it's not good for me, but my body just, like I said before at the beginning of the stream, um, I don't know. It's just, it's healthy to have like a bit of a six pack, I guess, but you shouldn't be like lean to the point where like, like you have a six pack all the time. If you want to like build muscle mass, if you don't want to build muscle mass, then like who cares? But yeah. Well, says eating clean is so much work. I hate it. Me too. Me too. Like this month, I've kind of been a little lacking on it, and I've been struggling. It's been messing with my motivation to work out because now my schedule's really out of sync, and it's just fucking with me. And I'm like, because usually I'll do like I have like a routine that I'm going to start like getting more into in the next couple weeks. I just need to have one little piece of my schedule puzzle figured out, and then I can like replan my workout schedule. Hi, Bixby. Hi, Princess. Hello. Anyway, yeah, I have to do that, and then once I get that done, like, how much do you work out? Because I know it's different for everybody, but like I have different goals, Trying to get more on like flexibility nowadays. Like maybe do more dance stuff. I did a little bit of it and I was really enjoying it. I was like, I should keep doing it again. 3 times a week? Oh, just like lifting or like working out as a whole. Like what do you do? Because it's hard for me. Because like when I work out, I want to do like athlete shit. Like work out for at least like come here, baby. Work out for at least like an hour and a half to like 2 hours a day. But I have like rest days for sure. I know. Yeah, you're being sassy. If you want to be up here, you can't be on my keyboard. No, you cannot. You a little boot school. Yeah, I see you. Can you get your booty in my face? Stinky butt. Lifting. I don't run, but I skip rope to warm up. That's pretty good. Yeah. Doris says hi, Bixby. You can see her tail. I'll show you her face. Ah, your booty's in your way. Oh, baby, I know Ollie's here. Hi, Oliver. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. Hello, guys. And then there's Siri, and then Michael's over there, and Sandy is just watching Andrew because he's prepping food, so she's very fascinated with everything. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna figure out like my conditioning plan. I don't really share that online much. It's been a while. But obviously like my body or I guess maybe you guys have noticed, maybe you haven't, but my body has like changed its form and stuff. I have to buy new clothes because my it's been like a year since I started working out, and like I said, your body changes. So I'm trying to take it slow, and then I don't know, give it a year or so, and then I'll probably either be bulked out or lean. I don't know. I haven't decided if I want to which way I want to go with it. We shall see. I'll probably just let stuff happen. Like let my body do its like course. So you're slimmer? I guess so. It's like my body's redistributed. So like the clothes I had back when I was lifting more intensely are fitting better. And all the clothes that I got the past couple of years when I took a break from like lifting and working out, they don't really fit me the same and I can't wear them anymore. Because like my pecs are getting bigger, and because my pecs are getting bigger, it's not like boobs or whatever. But I took in a lot of my shirts because my body changed, and now a lot of the clothes I did wear, I can't wear anymore because the proportions have changed. So like my shoulders are broader again, because obviously like delt stuff, and then like your lats make it so certain things don't fit as well anymore, and yeah. So, like, I am slimmer in some ways, but I've also, like, bulked out again. I'm more proportionate. So, like, your proportions change when you work out, especially, like, when you're a woman and more feminine. And, like, I am taller. Like, I'm 5'7" ish. Ish. And, uh, because of that, my proportions are going to be a little bit slower in change than someone who's like 5'3" or whatever. Like they can put on more muscle and you'll see more of it faster because it's just more compact. Yeah. So yes and no. Yep, I used to be a 34 waist and I'm a 28 now. Damn. I don't really measure myself out like that. I just kind of like ish. Okay, George. Okay, maybe the last time I measured myself, I was like almost 5'7". But I want you guys to know. I want you to know that I was like I measured at 5'8" when I was younger in high school. And low key that was before I had like my injury stuff, but I feel like I shrunk and I don't understand how. It was either like the measuring thing that they used was wrong, but when I go to the doctor's office and stuff like that, they say I'm like 5'7". So Cole says I only know because I have to buy pants. I haven't like it's so annoying because I just get like larger pants and then I hem them down. That's all I do. I'm just like I don't even know like my size. I just take old pants that like fit me well and then I like trace it with chalk on the new stuff and I'm like this works. George says I'm a 36-inch waist. Hey, I'm learning a lot about you guys today. Interesting. I don't know if it's buff shit or if you got like a beer belly or what's going on. But yeah, no, like my face completely changed when I stopped like drinking as much. Like I leaned out like a lot, so it's like more like angular again. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Give it a couple years. Hopefully, I don't like tear a pec again. But ironically enough, I really knock on wood. Don't want to jinx myself. I generally have the most injuries when I don't work out. So that's when I tore my pec. And it wasn't like an outer tear, it was like an inner. I've kind of talked about that before. But that made it so like I wanted to work out then, but I had to quit doing my like serving bartending job for a little bit because I couldn't even like lift stuff. Cole, oh, George says I'm also 6'4" and 220. Oh wow, okay. Well that makes more sense. I was like, I don't know what you want. Cold says alcohol is pure poison. I love beer, but it's poison. It is. There's this one girl online. She's on TikTok. She's really popular. I can't remember her name. She's really funny and stuff. But she used to be an alcoholic, and she said that a motivator for her to it just like popped up on my feed because I was looking for like because I'm not gonna dive super deep into it, but in one of my workplaces, a lot of people drink like all the time. And because I don't really like drinking on the job, if I choose to like not drink on the job, people like exclude me from things and they call me like a goody two shoes and all that stuff. But like I'm more than willing to have like a drink or whatever every once in a while. But I'm not going to like drink every single day I work.
Dinner and five.
Dinner and five, thank you. Because that's not really a good mentality, or at least it's not healthy for me, you know? And I don't think it's that healthy in general. So, like, I'm okay with, like, having, like, a glass of whiskey, or, like, you know, I don't know, like, something I have to, like, sip on. Or, like, I don't really like beer too much because it makes me bloat a lot. But, like, I'll have, like, a mixed drink, and then I'll just have that. And maybe I'll have two. But I don't want to do that more than, like, once a week. And it can be too much. George says, me too. I love beer, but I only drink every now and then. Yeah. And hangovers are so much worse now that I'm older. Like, because I used to bartend, y'all. I would be able to, this isn't me bragging, but like in one night, because this isn't something that anyone should brag about, but like I could handle my liquor, like a lot. And it was because I'd have to drink with people in order for them to buy more. The more that they purchased, the more I interact with them and drink with them, the more tips I got. So on weekends, I would drink on the job because that's when people would come in and like do that. It was just what you had to do in the bars I was working at. But then I worked at other bars where you don't drink at all, and that was really nice. It was really nice, and I was like, I don't know if I can do that type of like club slash like bar scene again. But yeah. But it is ugly juice. I call it ugly juice now because of her. Cole says trouble with recreational hockey is they all want to go and drink beer after. I know. I know. And it's even like rough. Like I have like more like people are becoming more of my friends now where we'll like go out, like we'll do something together. We'll have like an objective like go shopping or go to an event or something, some social gathering together, right? And then afterwards they'll be like, okay, we got all that done. Let's reward ourselves with like a drink. And then I'll be like, well, can we go to a tea house? Because I love going to tea houses now. I got back on that this past year. And they'd be like, oh, well, they're closed or blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, well, we can go to like my place and have like tea in our backyard or something, right, please? Like, I don't want to go drink right now because I have like work and stuff. But then if you don't go and like at least show up, then they're like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's always so awkward. And I'm not saying that people have to be sober all the time, but I'm around a lot of people where they don't necessarily, I don't know. It's like I don't mind doing it every once in a while, but like when I have stuff I have to do, yeah, you know, it's hard. So I get what you mean, Cole. I feel like it's even more pressure for you because hockey is like so alcohol focused. Hey, well. Working in the service industry, oh my God, people are almost always intoxicated when they're doing something. They'll be like working high, or they'll, yeah, it's hard. There's like workplaces that I'll never go back to because of just the demographic of the people doing it. And I just, like, I don't want to work in a, in-person stuff too often with people who smoke cigarettes all the time because it took me a while to quit smoking nicotine. And it just takes like having a really fucking shitty day and not super good willpower. And then you just do it and then you're fucked. And then it's like, shit. And all of this down the drain. And then it's just like sunken cost fallacy where it's like, well, I had one. My progress is ruined. I might as well keep going. So yeah. I'm not like that with alcohol. The only really pure addiction I've had is like nicotine. But oh my God. Oh my God. Anyways, I'm chatting too much. Y'all know too much about me now. I hope you enjoy. Yay! But it's nice that you guys relate though, because I don't know. I live in Nebraska and the Midwest. People drink a lot here because there's not really a lot of better things to do. So it's either you drink or you're like super religious and you do religious stuff with people, but even then people still drink usually. So it's hard. I do have to get crack-a-lacking, y'all. I guess it's time for me to go. I guess it's time for me to go now. I don't even know where I got that from. Cole says, yeah, here too, nothing to do but drink. Yeah, it's in the culture. It's true. It's annoying. I hope you can get past it. It's good having you back, though, Cole. I'll probably see you more in the winter, so. Oh, no. Whatever will we do? But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. And as always, oh, there's Bixby. Oh, thank you. Thank you, baby. Okay, anyways, as always, sleep well, stay safe, stay alive, and toots.